My extreme strategy for trading boom 500. Yeah, so this is a very interesting strategy that I use for trading boom 500. The first thing I do while looking on to enter a trade in boom 500 is to go to see the overriding trend. So it's what I like to call the overriding trend. So I go to the monthly time frame first of all to know where the overriding trend is at. So right now, I would like to say that boom 500. This is the best period we can actually trade boom 500 on spikes. You know, boom 500 spikes upwards, right? So you can see this whole movement all the way down. Let's remove this vertical line. So this whole movement all the way down, right? So this is what I like to call an extreme point. Extreme point in the sense that it has created lowest of the low, that's lower low. So it kept creating lower lows from this point break, right? Then it kept creating even lower and lower and lower lows. But we can see the interaction between the bearish candlesticks and the bullish candlesticks. So this is beginning to show weakness, and we are beginning to see some engulfing candlesticks, right? Some reversal patterns coming into play. So this is a strategy that I like to use for the fast pace instruments. So unlike the boom 1000, I would like to always check the overriding trend for the boom 500. Now we can see that there has been a continuous movement downwards, continuous movement creating lower lows, new lows, you know. So from here it can only get better, and we all know that all these are instruments for volatility indices, which means that they are still going to go all the way back up. So the first thing I like to do is to check the boom, the overriding trend for the boom 500. Now after ascertaining the overriding trend for the boom 500, so knowing that there is more room for spike upwards, so the bias is that any spike happening at the bottom, is most likely going to work. So what that means is any spike opportunity. So when there is a long movement downward in a 1 minute time frame, there's likely going to be an imminent spike happening, and in most cases, continuous spikes. Because trust me, sometime in the future, these points are going to be covered up, and it's also going to retest the highest high, right? So now we know that the boom 500 is good opportunity for spiking because it's at its all time low. The next thing I like to do is to go check support points, right? So I try to check the 5, 15, 30, and a 1 hour time frames, but 15 minutes is of great importance to me, because that brings me closer to the 1 minute time frame, which we'll be using to check the spikes. So what I do in the 15-minute time frame is I try to check for good support points, right? Juicy support points. So there are periods where boom 500 will retest a major previous support point. Remember, we are trading spikes on boom 500, so which means we are looking to buy. So we are only going to buy around periods or points where we can ascertain that, or it's looking juicy to spike upwards. So we are looking to get a major support points. So for instance, this could pass as a major support point, right? This is a previous major support point, so it's coming all the way from the top, right? So this is a minor one. So if I'm going to be taking trades around this area, so just draw your horizontal line around that area. It's just going to be, I won't be too ambitious with expecting to catch spikes, right? Just one spike is enough for me, and I'm running. but I always like to go for major support points. So major support points are points where there have previously been reversals, right? So this area could pass as a major support point. You can see a double bottom around here and an engulfing candle happening with the reversal pattern. So there's a very strong support in this area. So while it is coming down, it's most likely going to obey this support point around this area. So when it gets all the way down, regardless of whatever extended spread is happening in the 1 minute time frame, it must come to this area before you start to plan to take your trades, right? Now let's see what happened next. So you can see around the time, let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see around the time it came all the way down to obey this major support point, right? It deflected around this area. So you will be looking to buy around this line, right? So this is the second thing I check. Haven't checked the overriding trend. Remember, the overriding trend is very important for us. Remember, just to know and be sure that the bias is going to be upwards, right? A buying opportunity. So the overriding trend is showing that it is at it is at its all-time low, which means that buying opportunities around these areas are very feasible. So the second thing we'll do is to go to the 15-minute time frame to check for major support points, right? Remember, we are still dealing on the boom 500. We'll check for the support points major support points. So this is the spikes. I don't get very ambitious. Remember, we're looking at the 15-minute time frame. We're looking for major support points. I try to avoid minor support points. I look for only major support points. Now this could pass as another major support point. You can see there was a deflection around here, so you can see there's a deflection here too. So if you just put the horizontal line around here, you will see that it works, right? It works. So if you zoom out a little bit, you'll see that it works, right? This is uh this is it. So like I said, I don't get too ambitious with catching spikes at this level because we are dealing with boom 500. Just stick in your commensurate lot size and get a few spikes and you move on. And the beautiful thing about it is that we have a lot of instruments that we can play around. Now this is another one. So I won't call this a major support point, right? But there's one here. So even if it breaks below it, right? You just take while using your dollar cost average approach to trading, just put multiple trades and get your money back, right? So look at another one. These are major support points, and you get your money's worth. These are major support points. You get your money worth. Now see this one, right? So it went all the way up. This is well, can we call this a major support point? Or you can see here it deflected, right? Now this is the next major support point. The next major support point. So around here, you should be preparing to take your trades as well. So let's mark it. Good. So you can see around here it deflected. So this is very important when trading boom 500, right? Always identify major support points first. Even if you are seeing massive movement extensions in the 1 minute time frame and they are looking so good, right? Always check for major support points because there are periods where it will defy the long spread where your RSI will even go below zero, right? But just putting or taking the major support points into consideration will keep you safe in trading. So let's check for one more major support point, right? So you can see it went all the way up, it came down, right? Though it didn't get all the way here, but your support point is still around here. See another one here. So around here, you just buy and you catch your spikes. And this mind you, this is a 15-minute time frame. So as little as those spikes seem, they are worth it. Now see another one. See another one. This is a major support point, right? So it goes all the way up, goes all the way up, and it comes back down. So this place becomes a major support point, right? Just mark this point and be patient, man. You need a very you need patience when waiting for these things to hit, these points to hit. So you can see it came all the way down and took your trade and catch your spikes. So this is a very important uh, you know important thing to consider when taking your trades on the boom 500. It is very important, right? You can also see how different it is from the way I trade my boom 1000. Though I still use the support points for boom 1000, but I rely more because I've seen that in Boom 1000 it defies it a lot, but when the spike starts to happen, right, it covers it up. So that's why I prefer to use that strategy strictly for the 1 minute time frame. So the last thing we'll have to check for the Boom 500 is the actual extended spread that happens, right? And we know that for the boom of 500, the spikes happens on average at every 500 ticks. So what I like to do is sometimes I count these candlesticks in a 1 minute time frame manually, and I don't take my trades until I'm able to get around 40 to 60 candlesticks, right? But it's usually safe to take your trades when the RSI um, hits around 4 and below, right? 4 and below. Sometimes, it will shock you to note that the RSI can actually drag into 0.00. Yeah, but it rarely happens, unlike the boom 1000, that it's almost a frequent thing for the boom 1000. So that happens maybe like twice or thrice a week. For that's the one the 0.00 RSI happens once or twice or thrice a week. But for the boom 500, the RSI coming down below zero rarely happens, maybe once or twice a week. It actually really happens. So which means that there are a lot of spikes going up around 4 RSI and 0, right? So there are spikes that go off before 4 actually, but I don't trust a lot of those spikes because it's too risky, right? So that will give you around 70% risk. So spikes happening around 4 and below, gives you a certain sense of safety. But remember, even while waiting for RSI on the um, 1 minute time frame to reach um, 4, you must go check the 15-minute time frame to ensure the 15-minute or 30-minute time frame to ensure that you are at a major support point on the 15-minute time frame is very important. You can see it from the 5-minute time frame as well, but I like to use the 15-minute time frame because for the major support points, the 5-minute time frame is too noisy. It gives too many candlesticks, too many formations, right? So the 15-minute time frame gives me a better, a clearer, and a more recurrent picture on what is happening between 1 minute and 1 hour. You can also check the major support points on 1 hour time frame, but the 15-minute to 30-minute time frame is just fine. Just zoom in and zoom out. So this is the strategy I like to use for my boom 500, right? The first thing you do is go to your monthly time frame, note the overriding trend. As we can see, the overriding trend is at its all-time low. then go to your 15-minute time frame and check for major support points. So we can see here now, from the point I'm doing this video, we can see here this is around the major support point. So I can bet you that whenever the price comes all the way down, all the way down, it's definitely going to spike around this region. This is a very important strategy that I use, and it's safe, it's promising, and it really fails. So the third thing to check is to go to the 1 minute time frame and ensure that there's a good spread, and the spread is below um, 4, around 4 RSI or below. So this is the strategy I use for the 5 minute time frame, and I'm also going to be sharing a particular strategy I use for all the crash and boom um, instruments, be it boom 1000, boom 500, boom 300, crash 1000, crash 500, and crash 300. There's a particular strategy I use to make my trades run. Remember, all these trades that we are taking, they are usually on a 1 minute time frame, and they are short spikes, right? The spikes are not all that long. And also remember that for boom we are only buying, and for crash we are only selling, which means that we are taking advantage of only the spikes. But there's a particular strategy that I use that takes advantage of both the spikes and the spread, right? Both the spikes and spread. So we can buy and sell both ways and allow our trades run, and even have the chance to get even much more profit. It's quite effective, but it's an intraday trading strategy, and it's a long-term, a seemingly long-term trading strategy. It's a very profitable, and interesting strategy. I'm going to be sharing it in due time. I think when I complete the crash and boom series. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and so you can get new strategies as they drop. Also, if you want to fund your derivative account, your binary or derivative account, you can fund with us via Rexon FX. So we have very competitive rates, very similarly low rates, right? We're fast, we're reliable, and our services are available 24/7, even at night, any time of the day. We are available to fund your accounts. Thank you very much for watching my video. Do expect another strategy, probably crash 500 in the coming days.